Yeah. So, good evening, friends. Today we are going to look into UGC Net Paper 2, that is in education. We have Ameer Ali from Tata Institute of Social Sciences. He's a research scholar there. He also cracked UGC Net Fellowship and JRF Fellowship also he has. Uh, so he'll be sharing us how the last minute preparation will be and how we can crack UGC Net JRF in education. So we have been conducting a long discussion and sessions on um, using it paper one. So this is some sort of initiative to support you all those who are preparing and appearing in education in the second paper. So most probably next time we will do in a long term classes for the second paper as well. So with this note, I welcome Amir Ali to present and take forward the session. Uh, Hi, Amir, please go ahead.
Yeah, uh, yeah, hopefully we can start. And good evening, everyone. I will introduce myself first. Ameer Ali. Currently, I am doing my PhD in education at Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. And uh, first of all, I'm thanking Team Revamp for inviting me for this session. Uh, I don't know how much this session will be helpful for everyone, but anyway, conducting the sessions like this will be very useful for everyone, those who are preparing for UGC NET and other fellowships also. Yeah, and today, as you are familiar, we are discussing about UGC NET second paper of education, and that is we are going to discuss today. And the flow of the session will be like we will start about major units as mentioned in the syllabus. Most of you may have seen the syllabus before, or you can download from the website. And later we will discuss about small what will be the major content of each units, major parts of each unit. Earlier I was planning to do a detailed discussion of each unit, but unfortunately then I got to know that we are doing only one session and it will be very difficult to cover all this part in a single session, as there is around 10 units, and it will be very difficult to cover all these units in 1 hour session. Then okay, but if I am completing, hopefully we will discuss major parts of each unit. Then we can have a Q&A, question and answer session. Then we can conclude the session. And here also, as you're familiar with the syllabus, you can see as UGC NET is a qualification exam for uh, master's or college level lectureship. The syllabus will be like covering from teacher education, research in education, research, and other part. As you may have seen in the first paper, many in education, the second paper also will cover major of this part, like uh, from inclusive education, education institution management, technology, ICT in education, research, and teacher education, and also history of uh, higher education in India. Most of these parts will be uh, major units in first paper also. Then for people who are preparing for net in education, it will be very easy for you to cover this part. And hope I am audible, right?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yeah, yes. Thank you. And in between also, if you have any questions or doubts, we can discuss. I am not telling that I am a much expert, but we have a lot of people here around us. Then we can discuss and help each other to complete what we are doing. Yeah. And today we will start discussing about each units of education. Here also, even in education also, it will be as it is a competitive exam, limited to specific time. It will be very important to manage our time, how to manage our time during this session, exam period actually. And for this purpose, uh, you may be familiar with major tricks like elimination method, and it is very easy for me. I mean, it was very easy for me during my exam period how to eliminate other answers, eliminating method during the answer or examination period. Here also, for in my experience, this method is very useful for the competitive exams. Here, as we learn a lot of things and we couldn't remember all the things during the exam period, and definitely it will be very difficult to remember all the things. But if you are remembering something, we have to know how to eliminate which is not the correct answer. As in UGC net exam, uh, there will be 4 or 5 detailed answers, and it will be very difficult to cover all these things. And we know something about how to which is not the correct answer, or we know something this is part of the correct answer, then we can include or we can eliminate other answer based on this. And yeah, here also in education also, we know the theories, we know the practices, we know the dates, we know the major concepts, we know the major theorists. Then we can use the same method in education also. Yeah, anyway, it will be already covered, and that is why I'm not going that much regarding the examination preparation. We are just going through the content. As you may have seen, you can see in the screen the major units of education as yeah, yes, for Fasina, you have raised your hand. If you have any question, you can text or in message or unmute yourself and ask. Okay, as they are not unmuting, or if they have any questions, they can ask. Yeah, the major units of education is like education studies, history, politics, economics of education, learners and learning process, teacher education, curriculum studies, research in education, pedagogy, andragogy, assessment, technology in education like ICT, education management and administration and leadership, and finally inclusive education. As if you are familiar, I mean, in MA education, Masters in Education, B.Ed education, or M.Ed education, all these major units are covered in the syllabus of most of the universities. But there may be some differences in the content of some of the major titles, and it is very important actually, because even in TSS also, when during my net exam period only, I realized some of the titles are not discussed in the syllabus of UGC, because in education studies we will discuss about the major theories and everything, but in UGC net, in major theories we will not go deep about the Indian education philosophy. Some of the philosophy we will just discuss partially, or we will ignore the some of the part. But uh, from my past experience, every year there is around uh, five to around five questions about the Indian education philosophy. And but we are not covering in the our uh, masters or other B.Ed or M.Ed curriculum here. I mean, as I was aware during my master's period. Right now, I am not sure about it. And here, sorry, in Unit 1 of Education Studies, it will cover about the rich history of Indian philosophical schools like Sankhya, Yoga, Vedanta, Buddhism, Jainism, and this part will focus on the distinct ideologies and paths to understanding the reality or the knowledge. And you may have seen in, or you may be familiar, like Sankhya Yoga, it will delineate the separation between the matter, the Prakriti and Purusha, matter and the consciousness, and it's used to advocate the thinking and detachment from the materialism. And Vedanta underscore the unity of the individual's soul, uh, Atma or Atman, with the universal soul of soul like Brahman. Uh, I'm focusing on the self-realization, introspection, and ethical education. Here, we will not be that much expert in the, if we are not that much expert in Indian school of philosophy, we can see some of the major in these units also, we can see some of the characteristics of this philosophy. When we are discussing about the Sankhya, we know the Prakriti. We can connect the Prakriti to matter, nature, and consciousness, like Purusha to consciousness. Then in elimination method also, I mean, actually, I was not that much expert in the Indian education philosophy. Then I was doing like that. We will eliminate what we know. We don't know. Then it will be very helpful, because if you are not interested in all these units, and of course, definitely many people will not be expert, or we will not be interested in some of the areas, then as we are in the last period, it will be very difficult to cover the all this part in a single 1 week or 2 week sessions or 2 week preparation. Then we can, if you are going through the some of the keywords of these concepts, and we can remember these keywords, and it will be helpful for the examination. And the again in Indian School of Philosophy, there is Buddhism and Jainism. And in Buddhism, there is a four noble truths, and it's promote the mindfulness, critical thinking, and adaptability of the individual. And in Jainism, it's evolve around the non-violence, like ahimsa, and with multiple viewpoints and practical learning. And again, there is a discussion about Vidya and Darshan, Dayanand Darshan. It's also part of Indian School of Philosophy. And the Vidya represents the holistic knowledge, recognizing the Guru-Shishya relationship. And while Dayanand Darshan emphasizes on Vedic teaching, rationality and social reformation through the Vedic teaching. And again, coming to Indian School of Philosophy, there is Islamic philosophy or Islamic education. It regards the seeking the knowledge as religious duty, the knowledge like ilm, and balance between religious and worldly aspects, advocating the empirical observation and independent reasoning. So it will discuss about the epistemology of the Islamic knowledge from rationalism, between discussion about the rationalism and revelation part. And coming to education studies, the next part will be the epistemological perspective, how the knowledge is formed in this philosophy of education. And covering to this Indian School of Philosophy like Sankhya, Yoga, Vedanta, Buddhism, Jainism, Islamic education, Islamic philosophy, all these have its own epistemological perspectives also. How the knowledge is formed, or the individual is discussing about the reality or individual or the truth through this uh, philosophical way. And currently it will come to Western philosophy like idealism, realism, naturalism, pragmatism, Marxism, existentialism, which will contribute diverse educational perspectives. And in idealism, it will values the moral character, while realism focuses on the empirical evidences, and naturalism focuses on the nature's influence, and pragmatism on practical experience of the individual and how it will come to form a knowledge or understanding. And there are a lot of philosophers who contributed for these epistemological perspectives or perspectives in Western philosophy also. It will start from Socrates to even to up to date person, and we couldn't tell up to date or modern philosophy till Marxism or later on. And here the Marxism will highlight on the socio-economic factors. Existentialism prioritizes the individuality and freedom, and these perspectives influence knowledge acquisition, its method. In education perspectives, sorry, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. In education perspectives, how these major philosophies contributes for the in knowledge acquisition, its method, role of students, role of teachers, and designing a curriculum, and also its epistemological perspective from education methods, assessment criteria, uh, and how these philosophies see major situations from school, community, society, and the how these philosophies are helping to shape the purpose, and how these philosophies contribute to relevance and interdisciplinary aspects of the education. Lastly, uh, this part will cover under the social uh, movements, socialization and education, uh, and also in education studies, the contribution of the different thinkers from uh, we know the Marx, we know in Indian context like Gandhi, Tagore, Phule, and other social leaders, they have the perspectives in education and how their perspectives are formed, and how it is implemented in the society and how they made impact among the society, and right now how these philosophies are uh, acted or enacted in the different acts and practices of the community, and also finally the national values in the constitution, and how Indian constitution values the education system, the role major acts in the constitution also we'll discuss in this part. And coming to unit 2, we have history of education. In history of education, we will cover major committees, commissions to teacher education and secondary education and higher education in India. And it will start from the discussion about from secondary education committee of committee from 1952, which advocated for improvement of secondary education in India, and then Kothari Commission. Uh, in each policies of in India, they have significant roles, like uh, from early period of Kothari Commission, they proposed this 10+2 3 structure in the education. And coming to current NEP 2020, they changed this structure. And there are lot of things that we have to know about, or major characteristics or major ideas proposed by these committees, and we can connect these things to our understanding. And of course they will ask about the committees in a because uh, I have around attended around four exams, and I know in every year these people the questions of education, it's cover about the committees, and sometimes they will ask the years of the committees, and they will ask the question like put in order from first committee to last committee or back also sometimes. And in unit 2, we already discussing about the roles of committees and commissions to education, and relationship between policies and education, like policies like the National Policy on Education of 1986. It was focusing on the universalizing the education, and reports like Ishpal Committee report recommended the higher education restructuring. And these policies, acts, committees, they influenced the curriculum changes, teacher training reforms, and national education structure. And again, coming to the relationship between the policies and education policies, they impact on the national development, affecting the policy formulation processes, and it also we need to explore. Additionally, it will cover the financial analysis in the education, economic return in higher education, and intersection of policy and education, including various perspectives and approaches to understanding politics in educational context, how the policies are formed, how economically, uh, how financial management in education policies are relevant or important, and uh, like cost benefits, benefit analysis, cost effective analysis in education, uh, micro level education finance, and something like that. uh, Coming to next chapter, of unit 3, it is about the learner and learning processes. And in this chapter, the psychology of the learners, on philosophy, major theories of education, major theories of this field will be discussed, from growth and development, its concepts and principles. And it will discuss about cognitive processes, personality theories, mental health, principles of learning, intelligence, social learning, social competence, social cognition, and counseling. And as we know, the fundamentals of growth and development, it will discuss about how understanding growth and developments, recognizing the distinction between physical changes of growth and the broader spectrum, covering physical, cognitive, emotional, and social advancement, like we can call test development. And then principles like continuity, individual differences, maturity, interdependence of the individuals, and readiness. And again, coming to cognitive processes, personality theories, and mental health. Cognitive processes like perception, memory, and problem solving, it is connected with Piaget's stages of cognitive development. And personality theories from Freud, Rogers, Gestalt psychology. It discuss about the uniqueness of the individuals, mental health, focusing on emotional, psychological, social well-being, which requires the strategies like stress management and healthy coping mechanisms. And also, these theories are very important as they are contributing to syllabus, curriculum, practices from school, teacher education, and students learning and their assessment. Even every practices are connected to some of these theories, and these parts will be helpful in uh, like uh, both first paper and the second part. And again, coming to unit 3, there will be like approaches to intelligence, assessment practices, and cognitive skills. It will explore the intelligence from unitary to multiple perspectives, and acknowledging the social and emotional intelligences, broadening our understanding. Uh, like theories of Sternberg's triad theory, which incorporate um, analytical, creative, and practical aspects. And coming to assessment, its validity, reliability, and sensitivity uh, while implementing among the students, and how it will cover the cognitive skills like problem solving, critical thinking, and metacognition and creativity in the learning perspective. And another section will cover under learners and learning will be like social learning, social competence, and social cognition. Coming to social learning theories and its impacts like role models, reinforcement, attention, retention, motivation, personal characteristics, how these theories enriches our comprehension. And coming to social competence, uh, comprising social skills, emotional regulation, and social awareness, which are important for effective social interaction. And social cognition involves the theory of mind perception, which play the key role in social relationship and development of the individual. And finally, the section like guidance, counseling, and approaches, which are rooted in the principles of empathy and respect, which addresses the education, vocational, personal, health, and social concerns of the individual. And its approaches like diverse methods from directive to non-directive, eclectic, which are catering to individuals' needs and counseling philosophy. And coming to unit 4, it's about the teacher education, and teacher education is important in both part actually. Uh, as we know, in the first paper as well as in the second paper. And here it will cover about the sections of teacher education from professionalism. It's how teacher training, major institutions of teacher training, major courses of teacher training from B.Ed, DLEd, and specialization of each section, and how to improve the quality of the teacher education, and how to integrate technology and innovation in teacher education. And as we know, understanding teaching as a profession, it involves the specialized knowledge, ethical standards, commitments to student development, and teachers exhibit the professionalism through ethical conduct, competence, and some of the factors like personal beliefs, experiences, and contextual influences. And you may know the PCK and TPACK from major theories like Schulman and their contribution on teacher development program. Ilaya,
Yeah, yeah.
when we have to complete this session.
No, you can go ahead as much as you want. Till you complete the presentation, you can do it. Yeah.
Okay, because it's already 7:42. I can skim some of the parts, I think. Here in teacher education, like Schulman's pedagogical content knowledge, like PCK, then technological pedagogical content knowledge, like TPACK, and Habermas critical pedagogy. These parts we have to cover in the preparation period. And coming to innovative parts of teacher education, what are the major methods or how to integrate the technology to enhance the teacher training and also to enhance the learning of the students? Forms include the innovative pedagogies, collaborative teaching, and interdisciplinary approaches in teaching and learning. Uh, and coming to unit 5, uh, the study of curriculum studies include various phases of education design and development. It begins with understanding the fundamental concepts and principles of curriculum, focusing its relevance, flexibility, progression, and equity. What are the strategies in curriculum development, including from top down or spiral approaches, are we have to explore, and detailing the stages like identification, design, implementation, and evaluation. Like when we are designing some of the session or lesson plan session or session plans, we have to there will be the order of designing that we need to cover actually, because uh, I don't know, how it happens in other subjects, but in education, from designing the module from and to implementation and evaluation, and it will be like a cycle. As well as in education research also, there will be a cycle from starting to ending, and most of times there will be one or two related questions. What are the stages of this curriculum design to implementation and its evaluation practice process? And also in curriculum studies, uh, we have to know the fundamental basis like philosophical, sociological, and psychological things which are highlighted, reflecting from the state ideologies, social reconstruction, and learner-centered approaches, and also the role of bodies like UGC, NCT, or state boards, or national NCR bodies like NCRTs, and also higher education institutes like universities. What are their roles in setting the standards to ensure the quality and regulating the curriculum development. Because right now we know from NEP 2020, there are a lot of changes are happening in higher education and as well as in school education also. And there are a lot of things are changed in the practices from privatization to uh, uh, removing some of the stages like MPhil stages in research part or in college level research or adding one more year like 4-year bachelor programs also there. And we have to know what are the major expectations which cover under each stages. Why the bodies like UGC or state education bodies make changes which they are expecting something to improve the quality of the students or education in the state. And we have to know about the aspects of curriculum changes, types of curriculum changes, factors influencing the changes, approaches, and role of different stakeholders in improving education in the state. And also the scope of curriculum research and type of research, and that this part will be covered in first paper and same as well as in the second part from qualitative, quantitative, and major tools, major theories of education research, how the theories in education are connected to research or research methodology part that we have to know. And coming to unit 6, this is completely on the research in education. It will cover the methodologies and its approaches, starting from definition of education research, its scope, scientific method, its steps, aims, types of research, its fundamental practices, applied and action research. And this will discuss about the quantitative and qualitative approach, which explore the scale of these approaches, how to formulate the concepts, hypotheses, and data analysis, how to test the hypothesis and collect the data and analyze the sample methods, and everything will be related to first paper, like in research in education with focus in research education, but general research methodology part. And coming to unit 7, it is about pedagogy and assessment part. It will discuss about how to organize pedagogy from lesson plan, how to implement the pedagogy, how to assess the learners during their teaching and learning period, and how to creatively implement the teaching models or introducing the teaching models specimen to students, and the role of these teaching models, and also the assessment part, its meaning, nature, perspectives, and feedback mechanisms we have to implement in the teaching and learning. These are the major part covering in the unit 7. And coming to unit 8, technology in education. Or education technology, or integration of technology in education. As a discipline, its application across the formal and non-formal education. Its role of practicing inclusive education, and it will cover the relationship between learning theories and instructional strategies, focusing major theories like behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivist theories, and its implication to different teaching methods. And it will provide about insights into system approach to instructional design, various models of instructional development, uh, learning concepts, and trends in education technology. And this is also important in paper first in education. Not only in education, UGC first paper of UGC net, ICT in education is also we have to learn. And coming to unit 9, the education management, administration, and leadership. The overview of this unit will be the principles, functions, and tools which are essential for efficient administration, and the leadership part, exploring diverse approaches and models in education setting, and how to improve the quality in education, like in from both Indian practices or international practices, how to design the benchmark or evolution and role of quality improvement in the education setting. And coming to management, its approaches like models and methodologies. It will cover a comprehensive idea of education management, leadership, quality change, and assurance practices, quality assurance practices. And coming to final unit, like inclusive education, in inclusive education also, not only disability and education, but inclusivity covering from different marginalized learners or learner settings in the education environment, that will be covered in the inclusive education section. And it will cover from the definitions, theories, practices, and evolution of the philosophy of the inclusive education, from frames of feminist approaches to critical pedagogy or critical theory, and legal provisions, policies, and practices, from RPWD Act to major international and national level changes in the inclusive education setting, and types of impairment, disability, uh, and classification of disabilities based on ICF model, and facilitators in inclusive education in India, what are the major facilities in inclusive education in the state, and also ethical issues on practicing inclusive practices in schools or classroom settings. Uh, and regarding the accessibility, accessible learning, and integration of ICT in inclusive education setting. These are the major things covering in the units of education. Second paper in UGC net. Sorry, I know the sessions will be like very boring, and I don't know how much this will be helpful. And I am so confused because earlier I was preparing covering one or two units. Then I thought, okay, anyway, I don't know how to cover remaining parts. And I have prepared the PPTs like there is around 60, 50, 70 slides covering some of the major units itself. Later, I thought I don't know how to conclude all the session part in single session. Then I shifted to this approach. Okay, we can go
Yeah,
through
yeah, this is a
major
good one.
concepts.
Yeah.
Sorry for
So
all learners. Yeah.
yeah. So thank you, Amir, for it's a kind of a long lecture. I mean, you prepared well. Thank you so much for joining us with a short notice, and we are also doing it in time of when the exams are nearing. So, would you like to say anything as a last kind of last word to the preparation? Like in people go and rush up now. Winter also begins. Some of the part of India it's raining. So with these conditions, how to go about your last words to the aspirants who are appearing for the USNET examination?
Uh, there is no last words actually, because I'm sure about this is how many of you are attending first time, or sorry, going to give the exam first time.
Yeah, actually, many who registered and who are trained in the UGC NET paper one or majorly from masters, second years of masters.
Uh, then it will be like anyway, uh, giving the exam will be very helpful. Then only we know how to what are the major practicing is very important. Like there will be a lot of mock test available in the UGC websites itself, and it is very important because many of the questions repeat. And if you are covering around 5-year exam model questions or previous year question paper, then itself it will be very helpful to cover around minimum to 30 percentage of all these units, because as this is there is a limited content, and we have the syllabus, and there are a lot of things we will which are not changing. Then if you are giving the mock test itself, it will be very helpful. Yeah, that is the main thing we can do in the short period of preparation.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much, Amir.